Governor Caillou thinks this guy should be competing in sports with your daughter. On today's Defending Utah Television, I'm Ben McClintock from defendingutah.org. Make sure you don't miss another program by clicking on that subscribe button and clicking on that bell to get notifications when the new videos come out. Also, become a part of the solution. Join with us, support this program, and become a member of Defending Utah by going to defendingutah.org and clicking on the Join tab. So today, the Governor Caillou actually vetoed a bill that said just very simple, said that girls play in girls' sports and that dudes can't play in girls' sports. And that's, Title IX, it's unconstitutional, but it's kind of the whole idea is with this is not because of Title IX to be able to allow women to and girls in schools to be able to have their own sports. But the idea, of course, is a fair competition, right? You're not going to have a race between a motorcycle and a bicycle. You're not going to have a weightlifting competition between a 9-year-old and Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's just, I hate to break it to you folks, but men and women are different.
You can go.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
And there are certain advantages that come with both. And one of the advantages of men is that generally we are stronger than women, and so in sports that's why they have men and women's sports. But the governor thinks that dudes like this should be able to go swimming with your daughters in school, and they should be able to compete against, in weightlifting or in baseball or in basketball or, whatever it is. He wants to make sure that this dude is competing right there with your daughters instead of protecting them. And instead of, he's acting like being a female is a costume to wear, that you just put on certain clothes or you just say certain words and all of a sudden your genitalia changes. And which all these guys always claim to be, pro-science, but it's completely anti-science. And but the legislature actually says this Friday they're going to vote to override his veto. So when it originally came up to vote, when this bill passed, it didn't pass with a veto-proof majority. And so we're going to see if the legislature wants to protect your daughters, even though the governor doesn't want to. And so this is this is one of those no-brainer bills where, the only people that are going to be voting against overriding the veto are the people that want this dude to be competing with your daughters. And so this is one of those no-brainer things. It's going to be obvious. Just because they vote yes on this doesn't mean they're good guys, but if they vote if they vote to not overturn the veto, it's going to be clear that these guys are pieces of garbage. Which ones are the obvious pieces of garbage compared to the ones that are still kind of hiding out there in the corners. And so make sure that we're going to put in the link of the description of this video, a link to the bill, a link to, so you can read it for yourself, and a link to find out who your legislators are so you can contact them and say, hey, I think that this dude should be competing with my daughter. Or say, hey, you know what? Make sure you override that veto and make sure that dude's not competing with my daughter. So I am Ben McClintock with defendingutah.org. We wanted to give you that update on this breaking news story with Governor Caillou supporting trannies competing with girls in schools. Make sure you do not miss another program by clicking on the subscribe button, clicking on that bell, and support this channel. Receive the benefits of membership. Become a part of the solution. Go to defendingutah.org and become a member today. I'll see you next time.
You're getting to be a big boy.
I'm just a kid who's 4. Each day I grow some more. I like exploring. I'm Caillou. So many things to do. Each day is something new.